What we can do now is actually run you through some of the main details which the Pentagon has now come up with on what has been described as an unprecedented military mission which involved B-2 stealth fighters flying 18 hours to hit the targets that you see on your screen. I'm just going to go through a couple of key points. For starters, there was a deception which took place where a group of B-2s were apparently being directed over the Pacific. That wasn't correct. They ultimately came in through this route through the east after an 18-hour flight. There were 7 B-2 stealth bombers which actually did deploy. While Isfahan and Natanz were hit, it was Fordo which was the primary target of the B-2s themselves. As they reached this particular area, they were escorted by support aircraft of the US, including stealth fighters and older non-stealth fighters as well. At about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there was a US submarine which presumably was positioned in the Persian Gulf, which launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles. So those Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles launched from a submarine were primarily used to target Isfahan and Natanz. But remember, the B-2s were already in the air at that stage and their primary target was Fordo. Now, as they went in, they deployed deception as well. They decided to take out various surface-to-air missile units that the Iranians had deployed in the area, whatever threats that the B-2s which were coming in might actually have faced. At 2:10 a.m. Iran time, 2 GBU-57s were dropped on Fordo, right? These are these big bombs that we've been talking about, penetrator weapons which can go deep into a mountainside with their 30,000 pounds is what the bombs are. Each bomb 30,000 pounds to take out targets deep down. And the first 2 of these weapons, it's the first time that they've been used in conflict, were deployed. There were 14 of these massive ordnance penetrators which were used. And remember what I mentioned earlier on was the cruise missiles. The cruise missiles by this time also hit Isfahan and Natanz. By the time the cruise missiles actually struck their targets over here, the B-2 stealth bombers were actually out and they exited Iranian airspace. The US believes that Iran and their defenses were unaware of the fact that they had been there at all. No shots, they believe, were fired in the direction of the US aircraft. The surface-to-air missile units didn't see us, is what the US said. They say they deployed a total of 75 precision-guided munitions, including the weapons from submarines and the big weapons, the big bombs on Fordo, which I described a little while back. In terms of battle damage, they say there's been extremely severe damage. In total, 125 aircraft were involved, not just over here, but refuelers, which refueled the bombers all the way from continental America. It was the largest B-2 operation ever which has taken place, and that the US at this juncture is fully prepared to retaliate. And they say, and they've told Iran, once again, if you try to do something to us, remember America has got many bases across this region. If Iran chooses to attack, then America will hit very bad, very, very hard. The US will retaliate. They say they've got unmatched reach and global execution. Finally, one key point over here mentioned by Pete Hegseth, the US Secretary of Defense. This was an incredible, overwhelming success. It has devastated Iran's nuclear program, and Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated.